I guess you were right, Linus. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. The familiar line echoes, marking the start of a story that changed Christmas television forever. When A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired in 1965, no one expected it to capture the hearts of millions and become one of the most beloved holiday specials of all time. The world watched as Charlie Brown, the boy who always seemed unlucky, tried to find meaning in a season drowned in lights, presents, and commercial noise. He picked the saddest little tree, was laughed at by his friends, and felt like everything he did turned into a disaster. Yet his small act of hope became a symbol of sincerity and warmth that touched every home that tuned in. Behind that simple animation were countless secrets and struggles. From a rushed 6-month production to child actors who had never faced a microphone before, and even studio executives who hated the film so much they almost canceled it. To keep it real, the producers used real kids instead of adult voice actors, most of them from the director's neighborhood, creating a natural and imperfect charm that audiences adored. Peter Robbins, the boy who voiced Charlie Brown, was only 9 years old and often stumbled over words, making recordings chaotic but full of laughter. The team worked with a shoestring budget of just $76,000, drawing thousands of frames by hand with barely any time to rest. And when the project was done, CBS executives called it a failure. They said it was too slow, too quiet, and not cheerful enough for Christmas. But when it aired, half of America watched, proving everyone wrong. One of the biggest debates came from Linus's famous speech about the true meaning of Christmas. Some producers wanted it removed because it quoted directly from the Bible, fearing it would upset sponsors. But Charles Schulz refused to let it go. That one moment became the heart of the entire show, and one of the most powerful messages ever broadcast on television. Even the music carried a story of its own, as producer Lee Mendelsohn wrote the lyrics to "Christmas Time Is Here" in just 15 minutes. Though Schulz hated jazz and called it terrible, yet those notes became timeless. CBS wanted a laugh track too, like other cartoons of that era, but Schulz rejected it outright, saying audiences didn't need to be told when to laugh or feel, and he was right. Because the silence between moments gave the story its emotional truth. Even small details like Snoopy's blue house, which later became red, or Lucy calling Charlie by just his first name for the only time ever, became little treasures fans still talk about today. The show's message even changed American traditions, as aluminum Christmas trees quickly fell out of style after people saw Charlie Brown choose his humble real tree, reminding families that Christmas wasn't about perfection, it was about heart. What's more amazing is how close the project came to failure. At one point, Coca-Cola nearly pulled out of sponsorship after seeing early sketches, calling the animation a disaster, but Mendelsohn and Schulz stood firm, believing the story's simple honesty would shine through. They were right. The special not only won the Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program in 1966, but also became a yearly tradition that has aired every Christmas for over half a century. It paved the way for dozens of other Peanuts specials like It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, turning Schulz's characters into cultural icons. Even animation-wise, it was groundbreaking, especially since Charlie's perfectly round head made animating him a nightmare, forcing artists to invent new techniques to make him move naturally. By the time the credits rolled on that snowy night in 1965, families everywhere were singing along to "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," not realizing they had just witnessed history being made. What started as a small, low-budget experiment became a masterpiece that continues to remind us that joy doesn't come from glitter or gifts, but from kindness, friendship, and faith. So as Christmas approaches, maybe it's time to revisit that small tree that meant so much and remember what really matters during the holidays. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon for more timeless stories from the golden age of film and television that continue to warm hearts generation after generation.